Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
2020 was a difficult year for us all. World economies have crashed. Financial markets showed us again how important it is to be aware of the global economy. And, believe it or not, many people have profited from the movements in the markets. This December, we bring you the biggest open source webinar series for beginner traders to help each and every one of you understand the basics of online trading and investments from industry experts. Learn from the CEOs is the biggest webinar series organized by InstructFX with the extraordinary participation of 5 CEOs of 5 top Forex companies worldwide. Join us live on Monday, the 14th of December at 1700 GMT for the grand opening with an amazing webinar on trading currency pairs with João Monteiro, CEO at 4XC. On Tuesday, the 15th of December, trading stocks and indices is the topic of the day with Phil Adler, CEO at ETX Capital, straight from the heart of London. Wednesday, the 16th, the week only gets better with Joe Rundle, CEO at Markets.com for an amazing webinar on trading commodities. Just when you thought that things can't get any better, on Thursday, the 17th, we have the Cryptocurrencies trading webinar with our surprise guest. Finally, on Friday the 18th, it's your time to shine in the Fidelity Gala Awards, where InstructFX is rewarding you for watching us live with amazing prizes. Join the biggest open source webinar of 2020 and learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know from 5 reputable CEOs. Click on the link below and reserve your seat for the biggest open source webinar of 2020, hosted by yours truly, Andrew, the Chart Whisperer. Learn, observe, trade with InstructFX.
And we're live. What's happening, people? Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. We're only 3 hours away from the start of the third and most requested webinar of the series. Trading commodities is the topic this evening with Joe Rundle, CEO at Markets.com. You can find the link in the description down below, guys, if you want to book your VIP seat for the biggest open source webinar of 2020, organized by InstructFX. Now, let's get down to business and see what is happening in the markets today, Wednesday, 16th of December, guys. We're going to start this broadcast with a breaking news. Bitcoin, the good almighty Bitcoin, broke the all-time high minutes ago, trading above $20,500 for the first time in 2 years. The Federal Reserve holds its last press conference for the year this evening at 21:30 GMT plus 2, filling the economic calendar with over 15 announcements today, guys. Very, very big volatility expected on the US dollar and all its other peers this afternoon. Crude oil inventories are expected to come out in about 1 hour from now, after a surprise API data that was announced last night. European currencies, the euro and the pound, guys, pushed higher today on positive economic data and boosted Brexit sentiment. And gold futures gave back some gains this afternoon after gaining approximately $50 yesterday. And in case you missed the announcement, guys, in just 3 hours from now, we start the third webinar of the series, Trading Commodities. This show is proudly sponsored by our partners at Markets.com. US markets open, coming up. Right, guys. Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe. Once again, let's have a quick look at the economic calendar, guys, and see what happened in the markets today. We have a huge economic calendar. It's been months since I've seen such a flooded economic calendar with tons of announcements from all over the world. We started very early in the morning with announcements coming from the pound at 9 a.m. GMT plus 2. The CPI data month to month and year over year came out a bit disappointing, to be honest. Came out in red, below consensus expectations. We had the producer price index, which was announced in the same time, which as well as the consumer price index came out in red, came out well below what economists have predicted. We had a few announcements from France. We had the manufacturing PMI for December, which came out better than expected, guys. 51.1 versus an expectation of 50.1. We had the German manufacturing PMI data for December, which again came out 2 points. 2.2 points above consensus expectations. We had the German services PMI, which again came out green. Then we had the manufacturing PMI and the market composite PMI for December in the Eurozone, which both came out green this afternoon, guys, as well as services PMI for December. Then again, we had some more announcements on the pound, services PMI, manufacturing and composite PMI. They came out mixed. The manufacturing PMI was the only one that came out green. The other two came out in red. Then we had the Eurogroup meetings at lunchtime. Wages in the Eurozone, which came out 2.2%. And we had the trade balance, guys, in the Eurozone, which came out at 30 billion on the dot versus an expectation of 22 billion. Now, shortly after that, at 3:30, about 1 hour ago, guys, we had the announcements coming from the States. Let me show you the big calendar. There we go. These are the announcements that came out from the States so far, guys, and from Canada as well. A lot of red on the charts from US and Canada. And here's what's happening in a few minutes from now, guys. In 17 minutes, we're going to have the manufacturing PMI and the services PMI on the US dollar. In 32 minutes, we're going to have business inventories. Again, in 32 minutes, we're going to have retail inventories, the ex-auto sector. 1 hour from now, crude oil inventories and cash in crude oil inventories, followed by a press conference from the ECB, followed by a press conference from the German president. And then at 2100 hours, guys, the fun starts with a ton of announcements, with the interest rate decision, with FOMC economic projections. And the FOMC press conference that will start at 21:30, after half an hour after the Fed interest rate decision. Very high volatility is expected today, guys, especially starting now until 21:30 GMT plus 2 with all these announcements. Now, let's have a quick look at top 5 things to know in the markets today, guys, and then we're getting very close to having a look at the charts of the day. And let's see the Bitcoin charts, guys. Who knows, maybe by the time we get to the charts, the good almighty Bitcoin will trade at $21,000, $22,000, $23,000. Stay tuned. We're going to go to the charts of the day and the signals of the day in a few minutes. But first, let's see the top 5 things to know in the markets today. Number 1 on the board, guys, Fed meeting ends retail sales due. The Federal Reserve winds up its last monetary policy meeting of the year against backdrop of low expectations for action, despite a visible slowdown in the economy under the influence of the pandemic latest wave. The Federal Open Market Committee will make its decision known at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 1900 hours GMT or 2100 hours GMT plus 2, as usual, with the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's press conference following half an hour later. The FOMC will be able to factor the latest retail sales report into its calculations. Numbers for November are due out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and analysts expect sales to have fallen in month-on-month terms for the first time since April by 0.3%. Right, so the expectation for the US dollar is to weaken a bit, but let's see what's going to happen with the interest rate decision, guys, and with the statements that will come from FOMC. Number 2 on the board, guys, the Eurozone holds up in December. ECB lifts dividend ban on banks. The Eurozone economy held up better than expected in December, despite the spread of lockdowns across the continent to contain the COVID pandemic. According to flash purchasing managers indices compiled by IHS Market, the level of activity will contract only marginally this month. The composite Eurozone PMI rebounded to 49.8%, only just below the 50% level that typically separates growth from expansion. The figures have been released a week early due to Christmas holiday. As such, they barely take into account the hard lockdown in Germany that starts today, while the short-term outlook for the economy depends in large measure of the post-Brexit trade talks with the United Kingdom. In a separate development, the European Central Bank confirmed that it will lift its ban on bank dividends from December, although it appealed to banks not to pay either dividends or big bonuses until September at the earliest. Number 3 on the board, guys. The Santa rally is in as stimulus talks progress. The Santa rally looks to have begun, with U.S. stocks set to build on Tuesday robust gains when the market opens later. They are set for another positive opening today, guys. At 6:35 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow Jones futures were up 88 points or 0.3%, while the S&P 500 futures were up 0.4%, and the Nasdaq futures, guys, were up 0.3%. The market is being buoyed by signs of real progress in talks on a fiscal stimulus package after the first meetings in weeks on Tuesday between Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. McConnell said significant progress has been made in the course of the day against the backdrop of reports suggesting that his suggestion to drop provisions on liability protection for businesses and support for state and local governments had been broadly accepted. Number 4 on the board, the good old Brexit, guys, which has been dragging for the last 4 years. Brexit deal prospects lift the pound and the euro. The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said earlier she sees a path to an agreement in the post-Brexit trade talks with the UK, sending the sterling above the 135 and the euro above the 122 for the first time in over 2.5 years. Sterling was also helped by a composite PMI that indicated the economy is returning to growth in December, although the index level of 50.7 was below expectations. Elsewhere, Prime Minister Boris Johnson resisted pressure to abandon his plans to relax restrictions on social gatherings at Christmas, which may soften the economic pain of putting the capital, London, into the highest tier of COVID-19 restrictions. I don't speak about Boris Johnson very often, guys. I don't say anything, basically, good or bad about Boris Johnson. But on this one, Boris Johnson, respect. Very well done. And I hope you're going to tighten the restrictions even more to stop the COVID pandemic. For the sake of a pint, guys, in London Square, you might get infected with the COVID virus. You might bring it home to your families. So, Boris Johnson, well done. Congratulations. Kudos, Boris Johnson, on this one. Number 5 on the board, last but not the least, guys, oil consolidates after shock API inventory numbers. Oil prices consolidated overnight, torn between optimism over the prospect of a U.S. stimulus package and concern at a surprise increase in U.S. inventories last week. The American Petroleum Institute estimated that crude stocks rose by nearly 2 million barrels last week, rather than 3.5 million barrel draw expected. The impact on prices may be more sustained if the government data confirmed at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. By 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, U.S. crude futures were up less than 0.1% at $47.66 a barrel, while the Brent crude futures were essentially flat at $50.76 a barrel. All right, well, that's not going to be the case in 1 hour from now, guys, when we're going to see the official result from the crude oil inventories. Now, I'll tell you what, let's take a 30-second break so I can catch my breath, and then we're coming back live with the charts of the day and the signals of the day, guys. What do you say? All right, we're coming back live in 30 seconds, guys. Stay tuned.
Keep your finger on the market pulse with the News Alerts tool. Stay up to date on the latest sentiment across all the major asset classes. Uncover bullish or bearish signals tied to specific assets that could be developing before major price moves, and track how news sentiment correlated with price in the past. Track the news volume on an asset, its fear index, and get a better feel for its underlying strength. All with News Alerts, your central hub for market information. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, guys, and we are back with the charts of the day, guys. I'm going to start with Bitcoin today, as Bitcoin has exceeded the all-time high that was reached on the 17th of December 2 years ago, and is currently trading at $20,583. There is the chart, guys. Amazing rally for the Bitcoin in the last 2 days. I keep talking about this for weeks, guys. You probably got tired of me predicting this 20,000 mark to be hit in the last 3 weeks or so. Well, it finally happened, guys. It finally happened. $20,577 for Bitcoin this afternoon. What an impressive rally. What an impressive rally, guys. Let's have a quick look at the chart month over month, guys. And there we go. This was the previous high, the all-time high, which was reached on the 1st of December 2017, guys. Sorry, on the 1st of December 2017. And this is where Bitcoin is trading today. If that green candlestick that you see at the top, guys, in the far right, will close above that level, it means Bitcoin is entering uncharted territories. It means Bitcoin, the 20,000 level, becomes a support level. So from there on, very likely we're going to see Bitcoin trading higher to 21, 22, maybe $30,000. This is what is happening with Bitcoin today, guys. Unbelievable rally and a historical day for Bitcoin. Now we're going to start with crude oil futures, guys, on a 60-minute chart. $47.52 for crude oil futures this afternoon. Crude oil futures are almost unchanged for the last 2 or 3 trading sessions from what we see here. Since the 15th, yes, since yesterday, for the last 3 trading sessions, crude oil has been going sideways. 47.49 as things stand right now. The price is still well supported by that 20 and the 50 MA to the upside. We see a bit of divergence at the bottom between RSI and stochastic. Let's see what's going to happen with after the crude oil inventories, guys. One of the two will happen. Either we're going to see a retest to the downside at 46.40 with that 200 moving averages, or we're going to see oil targeting the $48 level. Now, let's move on to the most traded currency pair in the world, guys, the Euro US dollar, which is currently trading at 122, 121.99, 122 for Euro USD, guys. Very good rally for the Euro following statements coming from the ECB. We see the RSI and the stochastic way in the overbought levels, still pointing upwards, indicating probably another rally, another slingshot effect that might follow after that correction, guys. Right, the pound, the cable, guys, GBP USD, 135.12 for the pound. Wow. Amazing rally for the pound in the last couple of trading sessions with the RSI and the stochastic up in the overbought levels. We see a tiny correction happening. Careful with that 20 moving average to the downside for the correction, guys, at 134.78. We might see that level being touched, and let's see what's going to happen from there. Meanwhile, the US dollar, guys, is suffering a bit. USD JPY continued the downtrend yesterday. We see a tiny, very shy correction with a retest of that 50 moving average to the upside at 103.70. 103.53 for the USD JPY right now. Let's see what's going to happen, guys. If the USD will continue the downtrend, will continue this downtrend that has pinned the US dollar for quite a few weeks right now. Right, the Aussie dollar did a bit better than usual in the last couple of trading sessions, pushing higher, 0.7561 for the Aussie dollar versus the US dollar, with a bit of a pullback, just like the European currencies in the last couple of hours. There's still great potential for the Aussie dollar. We can see a resistance level being reached at 0.7579. And we saw that that level being touched twice. Let's see what's going to happen. Third one is a charm, people say. USD Cad, on the other hand, again, the US dollar is subdued by that 200 moving average. We see a tiny correction that started in the last 3-4 hours, somewhere there, 5 hours from what we can see. 127.52 for the US dollar, for the USD Cad this afternoon. We might see the US dollar testing that 200 moving average to the upside at 127.86. But again, the trading signals that we're going to have a look at in the next few minutes will give us a better indication on the direction of the US dollar. Now, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, guys, open to the upside today. We see a red candlestick shortly after the opening. We're 10 minutes into the US trading session. Let me decrease the time frame a bit. Maybe we get a better indication. Yeah, they did open to the upside, waiting for the Fed press conference. But as soon as they opened, they started going down. They're going to test probably that 20 MA at 3685.74 for the S&P 500. Let's see what the Dow Jones is doing. See, the Dow Jones already tested that That 20 MA at 31.54. Right, let's see what's going to happen. Big day, guys. Huge day for the US dollar and for the US indices. Today we're looking at the US dollar index, which opened to the downside, 90.11 for the US dollar index this afternoon. It will probably accelerate the downtrend that we got used to by now. What a downtrend, guys. Check this out. What an amazing downtrend for the US dollar. Let's see when that will end. But if the US dollar index goes down, what do we know, guys? Gold futures are trading higher, 18.59.15 for gold futures now, after a very good rally this morning, followed by a bit of a pullback in the last 3-4 hours. But still, the price is well supported by that 50 moving average at 18.52.31. We saw a retest of that 50 MA a couple of hours ago, and now we're looking at a green candlestick. There is potential to the upside for gold, guys, and probably traders will eye the 1869 level. Yeah, about $10 above the current market price to the upside. We see a bit of discrepancy between the RSI and the stochastic, but the RSI did not manage to go all the way down to the oversold levels, which usually, guys, indicates a bit of buying power. Let's see what gold will do on the back of a weak US dollar. Meanwhile, we're looking at Brent oil futures, or the UK oil, which is currently trading at $50.54. We just saw a retest of that 50 MA to the downside. Brent oil futures pulled back in the last 4 hours after initially shooting a bit higher and testing that 51.02 this morning. Let's see what's going to happen. There's still potential for the upside for oil. Brent oil futures are in an uptrend. At least in the last 10, 20 trading sessions, there is potential to the upside. But remember, guys, in less than 1 hour from now, we're going to have the crude oil inventories and the Cushing crude oil inventories, and we might see a retest to that 200 moving average to the downside at 49.54. Hey, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it might happen. Now, let's have a quick look at silver futures, which again, they performed tremendously well in the last 2-3 trading sessions, with silver currently trading at 25.11. Just like gold, we see a bit of a pullback on silver futures, guys, in the last 2-3 hours. They did a retest of that 20 MA to the downside at 24.95, and the price got rejected from the 20 MA, pushing a bit higher. The RSI and stochastic remain close to the overbought levels. Yeah, we might see a bit of a pullback. We might even see a retest of that 50 MA if this will continue. Let's see what's going to happen. And now, guys, the Bitcoin, the good almighty Bitcoin. Let's have a quick look and see what is going on. $20,471 for Bitcoin. Guys, I have to say something. Please be careful. If you're looking to trade Bitcoin, if you're looking to go long or short on the Bitcoin, please be careful, because they have higher margin requirements. Okay, the movement in cryptocurrencies is very aggressive. It might jump up or down $1,000, guys. It is not advisable that you trade cryptocurrencies with small trading accounts. It is not indicated. You might get into a margin call. You might get wiped out, guys. So I understand the hype that goes on around Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now, but please be careful. Wait for a bit of a pullback. If you're planning to enter long on Bitcoin, wait for a bit of a pullback. Remember, after such a rally, guys, there will be a bit of a pullback. Traders that open buy positions at a lower price will probably close their positions right now, cashing in the profits. We just entered uncharted territories, guys. There's no support resistance levels anymore for Bitcoin. There's no previous high for Bitcoin. This is the all-time high, so extra caution is required if you're looking to trade cryptocurrencies. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum, which again is doing tremendously well this afternoon. $615.27 for Ethereum right now. After Ethereum pushed higher, we see the RSI off the charts, guys. Way in the overbought levels. There we go. That's where the RSI is. We're going off the charts with this buying power on Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. Again, if you're looking to trade Ethereum, luckily Ethereum is a bit cheaper than Bitcoin. If you're trading it as a CFD, you are probably getting a leverage of 1-3 or 1-5. Yeah, which means you're going to have to invest 5 times less to trade one Ethereum. If you want to trade one Ethereum on a leverage of 1-5 right now, you probably need about $100 to open that trade. Please be careful and understand, you need at least $200-300 on the side as free margin to maintain that trade. Okay, any fluctuation, any aggressive fluctuation from Bitcoin or Ethereum this afternoon might throw you from a decent profit into a margin call or a stop out, even worse. So trade with caution, even though you might be excited over this amazing rally. We're writing history together, guys. It is the first time in history when Bitcoin exceeded the 20,500 level. $20,526 for Bitcoin. I don't have a comparison, guys. I can't even tell you where Bitcoin price is likely to go from here because we don't have any more signs. We don't have any other previous highs or previous lows. Right, let's have a quick look at some trading signals, guys. We're almost 20 minutes into the US trading session. Type your comments if you have comments and questions. Interact with me. Let me sniper these pop-ups. There we go. And let's see what analysts at investing.com are saying about Forex this afternoon. We see 4 green on Euro USD after the US Open, 4 strong buy positions. GBP USD remains neutral on a 5-minute and a 15-minute chart. The daily and the hourly remain a buy, guys, but still extra caution because we're talking about the pound. The pound is under a lot of pressure right now, tremendous pressure with the UK EU Brexit negotiations on the go. So any news might completely shift the direction. But Euro USD 4 green, 4 strong buy positions. USD CHF 4 red. On the other hand, we see 4 strong sell positions on the US dollar versus the Swiss franc this afternoon. The Aussie dollar versus US dollar, we see a bit of green on the chart, strong buy on a 5-minute chart. The 15-minute chart remains neutral. The hourly and daily remain a strong buy. USD Cad is in we see 3 green, 3 strong buy positions, and the daily remains a strong sell. So I'd be careful with that one, guys. I'd analyze the chart and the indicators a bit, and then I would go to action. Kiwi dollar versus the US dollar, we see a few sell positions on the Kiwi dollar, but the daily remains a strong buy. Euro versus the JPY, 4 green, guys. 4 strong buy positions for the Euro versus the JPY this afternoon. And again, we see a bit of mixed signals on the pound versus JPY and the CHF. Quick look at commodities, guys. Maybe I can help you with a bit of direction. We can have a look at some stocks as well. Bear with me for just a second. There we go. Apparently, the markets haven't settled yet, guys. We see gold and silver mixed with the daily remaining a strong buy, but the 15 minutes and the 5 minutes respectively showing a strong sell. Copper, same story with copper, just like gold and silver. The daily and hourly remain a strong buy, but the 5-minute one is a strong sell. Crude oil WTI and Brent oil, guys, we see strong sell on 5 minutes and 15 minutes ahead of the crude oil inventories. So we might see crude oil and Brent oil dragging a bit. And then when the result comes out, one of the two will happen. Either we're going to see a retest of that 200 moving average to the downside, or we're going to see it creating a higher high. On the other hand, we see natural gas with 2 green, 2 strong buy signals on a 5-minute and a 15-minute chart. And US wheat, guys, 3 strong sell positions, and the daily remains a strong buy. So probably US wheat is just making a correction right now. It's in an uptrend, is making a correction. It's pulling back a bit, but the daily remains a strong buy. So then you can calculate your entry for a potential long position, for a potential buy position. Quick look at indices on Wall Street, guys. Let's see what is happening this afternoon. Okay, now we're talking a lot of green, guys. A lot of green for the US indices. There we go. We're looking at NASDAQ 100 with 4 green, 4 strong buy positions. S&P 500, 4 green, 4 strong buy. Dow Jones, 4 strong buy. And the NASDAQ, 4 strong buy. Even the small cap, the Russell 2000, guys, has 4 strong buy, 4 green. So US indices, US stocks, guys, are expected to strengthen today with strong buy positions. Let's have a quick look at Wall Street stocks. Let's see what the big boys are doing today. Maybe you like to trade some stocks, guys. ExxonMobil, 4 strong buy positions for Exxon this afternoon. Apple has a strong sell on a 5-minute chart. The daily and the hourly remain a buy. Microsoft, 4 green for Microsoft. Procter & Gamble, 3 green for Procter & Gamble. And IBM, 4 green for IBM. Now, if you're looking for short positions, guys, Johnson & Johnson shows 3 strong sell positions, but the daily remains a strong buy. Then we're looking at JP Morgan, 3 green on JP Morgan. General Electric, a lot of green for General Electric as well. AT&T shows 3 strong sell positions, but the daily still remains a strong buy. Intel, 4 strong buy. Cisco, 4 green. Citigroup, 4 green. Amazing day for the US stocks. Right, guys, this is it from my side. Join me in exactly 2 hours from now for the third and the most requested webinar of the series, Trading Commodities with Joe Rundle, CEO at Markets.com. Join me in 2 hours from now, guys, and don't miss out. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.